Darren was 14 when every day at Greenridge High felt like a challenge he couldn't escape. School wasn't a place for learning or fun for him, it was a place where Logan and his gang of bullies waited. Logan was tall and broad, the leader of the group. His friends, Tyler, the Joker, and Max, the silent but mean one, followed him everywhere and joined in whenever Logan picked on someone. "Hey, Featherweight," Logan called out in the cafeteria one day. He grabbed Darren's lunch tray and tossed it across the room. "Better run before the food beats you up, too." The room filled with laughter, and Darren's cheeks turned red. He wanted to say something, anything, but the words stuck in his throat. It felt useless to fight back. Logan was bigger, stronger, and had the whole school behind him. After school, Darren walked home slowly, his head hanging low. His small, worn-out backpack felt heavy, not because of books, but because of how defeated he felt. When he got home, his mom, Sarah, was there waiting for him. She worked long hours at the diner but always managed to greet Darren with a warm smile. She saw the sadness in his eyes and knew something was wrong. "Rough day?" she asked gently, handing him a glass of water. Darren shrugged and nodded. He didn't like talking about the bullies. It made him feel even weaker. Sarah knelt down in front of him, her hands on his shoulders. "Listen, Darren," she said softly. "You're stronger than you think. Life will knock you down sometimes, but you've got to get back up. That's what matters. It's not about being the biggest or the loudest. It's about having heart, and you've got plenty of that." Darren didn't say much, but her words stayed with him. One evening, while walking home from another tough day, Darren heard loud thuds and shouts coming from a building. Curious, he followed the sound and stopped in front of an old, worn-out gym. The sign above the door read, "Greenridge Boxing Gym." Inside, people were punching bags, sparring in the ring, and practicing moves. The energy of the place pulled Darren in. "Hey, kid!" a rough voice called out. Darren turned to see an older man with silver hair and a weathered face. "You lost?" "No, I just wanted to watch," Darren replied nervously. The man, who introduced himself as Coach Ryan, smiled. "Watching won't make you stronger. Come on, let's see what you've got." Darren hesitated but stepped forward. Coach Ryan handed him a pair of oversized gloves and pointed to a punching bag. Darren's first punch was weak and clumsy, but as he kept hitting, he felt something shift. Each punch let out a little bit of the frustration he had bottled up for years. "Not bad," Coach Ryan said, nodding. "But boxing isn't just about hitting hard. It's about discipline and learning to keep going when things get tough. If you're serious, show up tomorrow." Darren couldn't believe it. For the first time in a long time, someone believed in him. Every day after school, Darren returned to the gym. At first, it was hard. His punches were weak, his footwork sloppy, and he couldn't last long without getting tired. But Coach Ryan was patient. "Boxing isn't just about muscles," Coach Ryan told him one day. "It's about believing in yourself. If you don't believe you can win, you've already lost." Those words stuck with Darren. He trained harder than ever. He ran laps around the block until his legs burned, practiced his punches until his arms ached, and listened to everything Coach Ryan taught him. Slowly, Darren started to change. His punches became sharper, his footwork lighter, and his confidence stronger. But he kept it all a secret. He didn't want Logan and his gang to know. One afternoon, as Darren was leaving the gym, Logan, Tyler, and Max were waiting for him. "Well, look who it is," Logan said with a smirk. "What are you doing here, Featherweight? Trying to become a tough guy?" Tyler laughed. "You'll never be more than a punching bag." This time, though, Darren didn't back down. He stood tall and looked Logan in the eye. "You don't know what I'm capable of," he said firmly. For the first time, Logan seemed unsure. He scoffed and walked away, but Darren could see he'd gotten to him. Months later, Coach Ryan signed Darren up for his first amateur fight. His opponent was Carlos, a local champion known for his powerful punches. Darren was nervous, but he had trained hard for this moment. The night of the fight, the gym was packed with people. Darren's mom sat in the front row, her hands clasped tightly as she whispered prayers for her son. The first round was tough. Carlos was faster and stronger, and Darren struggled to keep up. He took a few hard hits but refused to go down. "Stick to the plan!" Coach Ryan shouted. "You've got this, Darren!" In the second round, Darren started to find his rhythm. He dodged Carlos's punches and landed a clean jab to his jaw, earning cheers from the crowd. By the final round, Darren gave it everything he had. When the bell rang, the judges declared him the winner. Sarah rushed to him, tears streaming down her face. "I knew you could do it," she said, hugging him tightly. News of Darren's victory spread quickly at school. Logan, Tyler, and Max were shocked. One day, Logan approached Darren at lunch. "Hey," Logan said awkwardly. "That fight, it was cool. Maybe you could show us some moves?" Darren hesitated, but he could see Logan was being genuine. "Sure," he said with a small smile. From that day, the bullies became friends. They even started training with Darren at the gym. Over the years, Darren faced bigger challenges. He fought against tougher opponents, including Marcus, the Machine, an undefeated fighter, and Victor, a towering Russian with a powerful punch. Each fight pushed Darren to his limits, but he never gave up. By the time Darren was 21, he was a professional boxer with a reputation for being unstoppable. People admired him not just for his wins but for his heart and determination. One day, Darren returned to Greenridge High to give a speech. Standing in the gym where he'd once been bullied, he looked out at the students and smiled. "Life will knock you down," he said, "but it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how many times you get back up. Believe in yourself, even when no one else does, and never stop fighting for your dreams." The room erupted in applause. In the crowd, Darren saw Logan, Tyler, and Max cheering the loudest. Darren smiled. He had faced challenges inside the ring and outside of it, but he had overcome them all. He had turned pain into strength, fear into courage, and enemies into friends. And that was his greatest victory of all. Darren smiled. He had faced challenges inside the ring and outside of it, but he had overcome them all. He had turned pain into strength, fear into courage, and enemies into friends. And that was his greatest victory of all.